All right, let's jump right in. We're going under the hood to look at the invisible architecture that makes the best apps feel, well, just so incredibly fast and intuitive. It's not magic, not at all. It's a masterpiece of engineering that feels like it's predicting your every move.
You know that feeling, right? You tap a button and the next screen is just bam, it's there, instantly. It's almost like the app is one step ahead of you. Well, that is absolutely not an accident, and today we're going to break down exactly how that works. So, behind that seamless experience, there's a powerful, completely invisible system at play. You can think of it as the app's secret engine, this silent workforce that's running constantly in the background, just making everything feel totally effortless.
Now, the technical term for this whole thing is in-app automation mechanisms. But honestly, a much better way to think of it is as a silent digital workforce. It's like having this whole team of digital assistants living inside the app, and they are constantly observing, acting, and maintaining everything behind the scenes.
And here's what's so crucial to understand. This isn't your standard, set it and forget it automation. This is context aware. The system is reacting to how you are using the app right now in real time. It's dynamic, it's intelligent, and that right there is what separates a good app from a truly great one.
So how does a complex system like this even work? Well, it all stands on three core pillars. These three things form the entire foundation for the app's speed and its intelligence.
And those pillars are the predictive execution engine, the auto-flow task runners, and the smart trigger conditions. Each one has a really distinct job, predicting what you'll do, executing tasks in the background, and reacting to the situation. And they all work together in perfect harmony to create that seamless feeling.
First up, we've got the predictive execution engine. This is basically the mind reader. It analyzes your habits, what you tap on, in what order, and it gets the next action ready before you even think to trigger it. So for example, if you always check the Sunmax Gold module right after you open your tools, the engine learns this and it just preloads it in the background for you. Simple as that. Next up are the auto-flow task runners. I want you to think of these as the constant, quiet hum of the app. For any devs watching, they're like super optimized background jobs. But instead of running on some fixed schedule, they run continuously, every few milliseconds, refreshing data, updating little parts of the screen, syncing rates. It's kind of like background music that's keeping the whole experience alive and fresh. And the third pillar is smart trigger conditions. This is the app's nervous system. It's constantly detecting the current state of things. Is the network connection slow? Is the device itself getting hot? Is usage really heavy? And based on that, it adapts. A brilliant example of this is if your phone is heating up, the system will automatically reduce the animation load to help cool things down. So smart. So those are the three big pillars, right? That's the grand strategy. But who or what is actually carrying out the orders? Well, for that, we have to zoom in. We're going from the high-level architecture down to the microscopic level to meet the tiny robots doing all the heavy lifting. These are called microthreads, and you can think of them as these tiny, laser-focused automation fibers that are constantly performing small but critical maintenance tasks. They're validating your login token, cleaning up old data in the cache, and even preloading content just ahead of where you're scrolling. It's all this constant, behind-the-scenes housekeeping that keeps the app feeling incredibly light and responsive. And to really put the scale of this into perspective, it's like having 200 tiny engineers working around the clock inside your app, constantly preparing, repairing, and optimizing the system. That is just a massive amount of automated support. Now, at the very core of this entire operation is a feature called AutoSync. And this isn't just another component. It's the central heartbeat of the whole app. It's what pumps life into the system by handling all the critical data synchronization with almost zero effort. This quote really illustrates the philosophy perfectly. AutoSync is designed to be like your own heartbeat. Quiet, constant, and life-giving. It just does its vital work without you ever having to think about it. Okay, so far we've talked a lot about speed and efficiency. But this is where it gets really exciting. The automation we've been looking at can also become deeply personal and even protective, which makes the app feel like it was literally built just for you. This is done through a system called Behavior Link. It literally maps your unique journey through the app. It learns what you open first, which tools you use the most, and even what screens you always skip. In a way, it's like a lightweight form of on-device machine learning, building a unique profile of you that makes that predictive engine even smarter. Okay, now this is the truly groundbreaking part. What happens when the app hits a snag, like a memory leak or some kind of performance drop?
With this system, get this, it actually detects the problem and it fixes itself, often before you can even notice that something went wrong.
Let's just put this side by side. On one hand, you've got your standard app. It gives everyone the same generic experience, and you know this, it just inevitably slows down over time. It gets glitchy, we've all been there. But an app with this automation DNA is completely different. It's personalized to you, it self-repairs to stay fast, and it automatically heals itself from errors. The long-term experience is just night and day.
So as we start to wrap up here, it's pretty clear we're not just talking about some cool feature. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how software is built. This level of automation isn't some add-on, it's the very core, the DNA.
So what does all this complex behind-the-scenes work actually give you, the user? Well, it delivers 5 key outcomes. An app that is fast, incredibly stable, intelligent, personalized, and, maybe most remarkably, self-repairing.
And this brings us to the final, and I think the most powerful takeaway from all of this. This one idea. Automation is not an extra, it is the DNA. This is the fundamental blueprint for the next generation of software. So I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you've actually seen under the hood, you've seen the secret engine, the silent workforce of tiny engineers keeping everything running, will you ever look at a smooth app the same way again?